the summary from last time. Did you take
Oh,
a look at it? Is
oh
that helpful?
yeah. Oh, it was very helpful.
Great.
It was really it was very insightful to read it and just sort of like, oh yeah, we did talk about that. I mean,
Yes.
I took my notes, but I didn't take a lot of notes because you said, it's all
You don't
being
have to. It's being recorded, and we also have a summary, so you don't even have to listen to the recording. How great is that? But if
played.
you have a question about something that's said, you could always check the recording and get the real scoop. So, yeah.
Exactly, exactly. Now, I do have to say I'm a little concerned because I just got a message that said my battery was low, and I thought that this, um, well, it shows to be, it shows as though I'm getting, bear with me a minute. I'm going to just exit out of full screen and check my battery and make sure that it's actually showing that it's being charged.
Oh, because you have it plugged in.
Plugged in, it says plugged in, not charging, but if it's plugged in, I'm fine. I
Yes, you
should
should
be
be
fine.
fine. That's
Yeah,
right. You're not
yeah,
worried using the battery to have them call, so
yeah,
you're fine.
yeah.
Yes.
So it should be, I should be fine. So,
But it may be that the juice required for doing Zoom may be exceed what, or at least not give enough leftover juice to recharge your battery. So,
oh, yeah, yeah,
because it does take a lot
yeah.
to do
And
Zoom.
that's fine. I mean, as long as we can have our call, that's what
Yeah,
matters. So,
that's right.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, so you look really happy, and
Yeah.
I think that's great. And I wondered if there was any comment you wanted to make about the exercise or the module this week, which is about community.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it was funny that it took me so much energy, I guess, to get I don't know that it was energy as much as available time.
Hmm.
And I was actually talking to Wendy about this a little bit earlier today, because I said, I just last weekend I knew that we had this call coming up and that I wanted to be ready and everything, and I just couldn't get up the energy to
Hmm.
do it.
Hmm.
Um and something that's happened, and maybe there might be a little bit to this too now that I think about it. Um so a week ago today, I was on campus. I was on Fred Hutch campus, and I had a fall
Ooh,
that, yeah, and I'm fine, other than I've got something going on with my right shoulder. And basically what happened, I was walking with one of my colleagues. We were going to get some lunch and go up on the rooftop garden and take in the glorious sunshine. It was a gorgeous fall day and overlooking Lake Union, downtown Seattle. I mean, it's beautiful. And we're just talking and walking, and like that, I'm down on all fours. I mean, I'm on my knees and my hands used to brace myself when I fell. And looking back and rolling back the tape, we realized there was, how sometimes on sidewalks they'll have brick and then they'll have concrete. It's part of the design,
hmm.
and the concrete was raised up maybe about a half an inch
That's
in
all it
this one.
takes. That's all it takes. Yeah.
All it takes.
Yeah.
And it says plug in your PC now. I am plugged in. It says your battery is very low. Plug in your PC now. And so it's
But it
actually,
does show that you're plugged in, but it's just not charging. So don't. Yes, that
You
would be
think I'm
very
okay?
concernful. Well, I do think you're okay, but you have a PC and I have a Mac, so it's totally different.
I know.
But
And I'm
here's a
using,
suggestion is that you have your cell phone
yep,
available in
yep,
case we have to switch over to the cell phone. And you should be able to make sure that you have the Zoom link on there so that if you need to come on, if you go off, because
right,
you never know, right? Uh,
right.
just to
Okay,
have the Zoom link ready so that,
perfect.
and I
Got
sent
it
you the
right here.
email, so you should be able to get right
Yeah.
in.
I'll just jump on via my phone if
Yes,
we crash.
if it crashes, right.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, I ended up uh I was able to get up and we went on and we got our lunch and everything else. But Fred Hutch is very adamant that if you have any kind of a safety issue, if you experience any kind of safety issue, or you witness somebody having a safety issue, report it. Not
Hmm.
make sure it's known.
Hmm.
So
So
basically,
who's Fred Hutch?
Fred Hutch is who I work for.
Oh, okay. That's your
Fred
company. Okay.
Fred Hutch Cancer Center.
Okay.
And so they are, they're very, very adamant about that. So they want to protect their employees and their patients, right? Because
Right.
we have patients on our campus everywhere, and so cancer patients. And so I ended up the whole rest of my day on Friday, ended
Filling
up
out a
being
report. Yeah.
going like going to occupational health, and then they ordered me a lift and had me go to the closest urgent care, and then having to go through urgent care and have them check me out, and which was I'm glad they did. And actually it ended up triggering an L&I claim because I was working when the
Hmm.
injury happened, and so there's paperwork with so anyway, so it was quite a rigmarole, although I have to say I am very grateful to the occupational health nurse on campus because she really insisted, because I was like, I've got patients I need to chart. I need to get back to my office and chart because I had some patients I'd met with earlier that day. And she was like, no, right now you are my patient and you come before the patient you just helped.
Oh, how wonderful. Oh, Char,
And
that's
so,
wonderful.
yeah, so okay, fine. And I'm really glad I did because now she said, you can be fine. And a week later, there's going to be something lingering that you don't feel right now because you're in shock. Your body's in shock.
Right.
And so, sure enough, they did give me muscle relaxers because I just felt stiff and sore
Hmm. Hmm.
all over my back and everything else. And so she really encouraged me to do that. And the PA that I saw was wonderful, and he gave me the muscle relaxers. And so I actually Friday night and Saturday night I slept for like 12 hours both nights.
Oh,
So
good.
my body just needed
Needed
obviously
some sleep.
a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
sleep and to help me recover from this. So that might have had a factor. I never even put that
Well,
to.
are you right-handed?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so that's your right shoulder, right? So
exactly.
that could certainly impact your uh, interest in working on something handwritten because that affects the whole arm. So,
It fixed the whole arm.
and it's been in shock, and also so the right side is the masculine side of the body, or the
Hmm.
more rational side of the body. And then the shoulder is how you show up in the world. And the shoulder is very high on the body, so it's more recent kind of stuff, as opposed to
Mm.
like if it's in your knees or your ankles, which is
Mm.
more early childhood. So, there's some issues that you have around what you're doing now and
Oh
whether or
yeah.
not you're feeling completely fulfilled. And it
Hmm.
was interesting that you said when you did the body scan, you found that there were issues in the sacral area,
Hmm.
and that's creativity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So there's a way in which maybe, you're not being able to express that energy of
Exactly.
creativity, right?
Yep.
So there's some discomfort there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that the psychosomatic is always spot on about
Yeah.
what's going on because the body
What
is speaking to us all the time.
exactly, exactly. And yeah, and it definitely was speaking a lot to me last week when
Yeah.
this, with this fall and and just sort of the recovery this week with the whole thing uh and and I just Wendy was saying when I was saying how, I was pleased that I was able to get this module 2 done for today for us talking, and how I just found it so I felt such a relief because I had thought that, and we talked about it
Yes.
via
That
email
you
that,
had to do
that I had to
three,
do both, two
do
and
three is
three.
also, yeah.
Yeah.
So
And so,
I'm glad you asked because I was
yeah,
able to tell you and you didn't need,
yeah,
oh,
yeah. Okay, so that just gave me a whole lot more relief. And then it made it feel more doable. I
yes.
had 2 nights this week after work where at least, okay, I can take 2 pages, do I think 2A and 2B
Right.
Wednesday night, and then I did 2C and 2D last night.
Hmm.
And then this morning, I finished it up this morning. Um, and so I was really glad that I did it because, well, just I'll say one more thing about my conversation with Wendy regarding this, because her observation of me is that, because I was saying, last weekend I was so tired, I just couldn't motivate myself to get, to work on this. And she said, you got to remember, Char, that you've transitioned, and she used to own her own business as well, not for as many years even as I did. So, but she still gets it. And she said, you were used to being a small business owner, and yes, you worked your tail off. Every small business owner does, and but you could, to some extent, sort of modulate your energy because of the fact that it is your own business, and there's certain parameters around it that you obviously had to have business hours and things like that. But um, whereas now, she said, my experience, meaning hers, was when she went to work um, for the city of Seattle after she had her own business. She said, I found it exhausting to go. She goes, even though there was an incredible and an enormous amount of relief because, the
You were
benefits were
responsible for making the money and making it all work. Yes.
exactly.
So there's some other things that might also be operating there. First of
Okay.
all, you're now in a new schedule and it's a long day.
Uh-huh.
Second, you may be under fluorescent light. I don't know. A lot of these that really saps the energy.
It's interesting you say that because we actually and Fred Hutch is really, they're so mindful. Bear with me a minute. I'm gonna open this LaCroix. I'm thirsty. Um I couldn't find my water bottle. So anyway, uh they're very, conscious about employee health and wellness and all of that sort of thing. And so, actually, believe it or not, we keep the lights off
Oh,
as much
good.
as possible.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Awesome. Great.
So we
And do
don't
you have
have,
windows? Do you have windows at all?
we do have windows where I am. Um, you're sort of in the center of the building, so you
Mhm.
don't have it all the time.
Right, right.
And so, but they're very adamant about us getting up and taking breaks.
Great.
And the break room is very bright and has, I mean, natural,
Natural
lots of
brightness. Hmm.
beautiful
Lights.
natural
Windows.
lights,
That's great.
or I mean, a lot of natural light coming in, and and there's spaces to go to where there's natural light, and they really want you to take that time to break and get away from your desk. And we have standing sit to stand desks, and
Excellent.
yeah, as a matter of fact, it's sort of a full circle moment for me because
Whoops. Is that your cell phone?
here I am. I'm on my cell phone.
Yeah, okay. So,
Anyway, here we go. I'll prop it up this way. See if I can make that work. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and you're seeing your part of the world behind me.
yeah,
I've
yeah,
got
that's
the Golden
hysterical.
Gate Bridge behind me.
I think I'm going to hold on. I'm going to get rid of the part that's not working anymore. So that's if I knock you out, let's see, I think which one is which? Okay, it went away by itself. Great.
You did. Oh,
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I didn't
Good.
want to be sucking more, but it sucked enough energy that it turned your laptop off.
Yeah,
So what I
exactly.
would suggest you do is, well, shut it down, shut down your laptop,
Mm-hmm.
and well, before you do, see if it's charging. Does it show a little, I mean, on mine, it actually, well, my cell phone, it shows a little lightning bolt showing that it's
Yeah,
charging.
right. Exactly. Oh, that's the problem, is that because I'm using an adapter that is a lower wattage than the recommended AC adapter for this computer. That's the
Oh,
problem.
I
Yep.
see. Okay.
Uh-huh.
But
That
it is
answers
charging
it.
now, is that right?
It is charging
Like little tiny droplets.
droplets. Exactly.
Whoops. How's your cell phone? Do you have charge on your cell phone?
So it's good to think I
Yeah, you're breaking up.
do, as a matter of fact. Um oh yeah.
Do you have charge on your cell phone? Whoops.
I have another charging cord. Hold on a
Okay.
second. I'm
Okay.
so sorry about just realized I have, is this the right kind? I just wish everything were Mac. It'd be so nice.
It would,
I am a Mac head at heart.
yes.
I
Me.
hate PCs. I hate PCs, but
Hey,
it
hey,
is
not now.
just
Don't
the
hate them
reality.
now. Be nice. Say nice
No,
things to
no.
the
Oh,
PC.
you're right. I love you. I love you. I love you. Please, please. I love you.
Believe
Don't
me,
don't take one of
they listen. They hear.
they listen. They listen. They're not gonna. Okay, here we go. All right, now I think. Okay. Um. All right. So poor Stella, she left the other room. She's like, I'm out of here.
All right, all right. So understand also, in terms of your tiredness and fatigue, and I'm
I
glad to
am
hear that
so
you're,
out of here. Okay, let's see.
oh, sorry.
Oh,
Whoops.
oh no, go ahead. What were you going to say?
Okay.
You're
So
glad to
what
hear
I was
what?
going to say is you've
Oh, I can
also,
hear you.
okay, good. So you have also taken on this journey with me. And that's going to bring up a lot of stuff. And, there's a part of
Yeah.
there might be a little bit of fear there. And you just did this whole thing about your community. And you did talk in this module about the kinds of losses you had. Did anything come up for you emotionally when you were writing all that down?
Yeah, that's a really good um the thing that came up the most for me is okay, my computer, by the way, is rebooting itself. I love you. I really do. You take care of me, please.
And Char,
I'm
you might
talking to the computer.
yes, oh, good, good. You might want to turn off your video for now. I know it's nice for me to see you, but if you're having problems with the receptivity, if you turn off the video, it doesn't take as much power and bandwidth.
Right. It doesn't
Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Uh, just trying to see how oh, here we go. Stop
Yes.
video.
Yeah,
Okay,
there you go.
there we go.
There you
So
go.
hopefully
See, now I can hear you
that'll
just
get us
fine.
a little. Oh, interesting. Okay, good to know.
Yes.
Um, so we'll just let my computer sort of take its time getting
Yes.
itself back up again, and then hopefully I can switch you back to Zoom, and we'll
Back
have
to
a
the
better
computer.
connection all the way
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
And are
yeah,
you
so
on your cell phone? Are you connected to Wi-Fi?
uh yeah, I think I am. These kind of questions, I just jump in. Wi-Fi. Oh yeah, I am. I'm on
Okay.
Dan's network. Yep,
Okay,
I
good.
am.
You should
Yeah,
be fine then.
yeah.
All right, great.
So, but yeah, I did have some things come up that were a little unexpected in terms of my, I have, let me see if I can find the one that I probably felt like I was it's not new for me in terms of being aware of the I hesitate to use the word betrayal um because that feels too strong to me.
Hmm.
But I do feel there's an issue that I've got to deal with regarding my friend Linda,
Huh.
and it's about the relationship that she and her husband have still with my ex-husband.
Ah, okay. So Linda is a friend, a mutual friend of both you and your husband, ex-husband, but
Uh-huh.
they have chosen sides, maybe?
Not 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 really. I wouldn't say, I would not go so far as to say sides at all.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay. I'm back up. My computer is coming back up and I am opening Zoom.
Okay.
So let's hope I can.
Come
Okay,
back
so
on.
here I am. Now you got me in space here. Okay, here we go. I don't want, okay, join. So I should be able to start my video again and drop off. The meeting is being recorded. Yes, I'm okay with that.
Okay, so
Okay.
Char, don't turn off yet. The one that came on does not have audio. It just has video, which is off. So you want to be able to
Join audio. Oh, okay. Yeah, because
right, good. And it's
it
okay to have
has,
it muted right
yeah.
now.
And
Okay.
it's okay. I have it muted right now. So, okay. Now, so, okay. Now I can hang up on my
Yes.
phone.
Hmm.
Yes. Right. Okay. Okay. So I am going to.
There you go. Okay. You're muted right now. Let's unmute you.
There we
Okay.
go.
All right,
Am
you're
I good
good.
now?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah. So the situation is, so Linda and Brian are like decades old friends.
Uh-huh.
I met Linda and Brian in like 1990. So, whatever that puts us at, 35 years friendship. And so Linda and Brian are my friends, and I met them through church. Linda at the time was the organist and pianist, and her husband, of course, was attended as well. And we have been through thick and thin together, and very, very close friends. And basically, what's happened is that, and they have been through the whole journey with me, of the divorce and everything. But Brian has very few male friends.
Mm-hmm.
And so he has the friendship
With
with
George.
George,
Yes.
principally.
Yes.
Linda does as well, but it's,
Yes.
principally,
It's masculine bonding,
yeah,
and since they don't have a lot, they cherish what they have.
exactly.
Absolutely.
And I have been completely supportive of that. You know, I don't, I want George to have support
Right.
because, he doesn't have many male friends and either. And so I've wanted he and Brian to continue their friendship even
Nice.
through the divorce.
Right.
They went through a big process of selling their home and relocating up to Anacortes, and he helped them with a big chunk of that project. And so I would go over there for various reasons, because it wasn't very far from my office when I had my business, just to drop things off or something in the evening or whatever. And I'd see George over there, and I mean, we're we're still civil with each other, and it's we don't it's nothing like I can't be in your presence, I don't want to be in your that kind of a
Right.
thing.
Right.
So that's all been well and good. However, George, basically when we separated and I moved in with Wendy and Jenny, my
Roommates.
dear friend and her sister. Um, what was supposed to be temporary and has now been 6.5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so and yeah, we George remained at the house that we had been renting until the lease was up, and then he was obviously going to have to find a place to live. And he was exceptionally cagey, exceptionally defensive, and not wanting to say. And the reality is he was moving in with a woman that he had been friends with for years.
Oh,
And
well,
I had
that's
always suspected
expected that
him
there was some interest
there
there.
was more there.
Right.
And I know her. I know Lorraine. I've been in her house for a dinner once,
Uh-huh.
years before. And so, there's a lot of history with he and Lorraine. And obviously, I have known her for years. And and basically it's been fine. We've been divorced now 5 years, six. It was in two. I mean, basically, we moved out of the house in 2019, and the divorce was official January of 2020. So yeah, 5 to 6 years. And he and for the whatever first 4 years, it was fine. I would see him at times and it wasn't a big deal. And he would, we'd see each other at the holidays or the kids' birthday parties or choir concerts or whatever, they had going. And we still had Bindi together because we really co-parented Bindi.
Mhm.
And to the point that if I needed to, especially when I was working, if I needed to go out of town for some business trip or whatever, or especially when mom was dying and I was having to go back to Michigan so frequently, he would take Mindy. He'd take care of her for me. Because maybe Wendy and Jenny couldn't for some reason. And of
Mhm.
course, he was always willing. He drop of a hat, he would take care of
Take
Mindy.
her. Oh,
And
nice.
so he was very much a co-parent of hers.
Mhm.
And so I think, I mean, there's no question in my mind that until Bindi died in July of 2022, um, there, it was simply, we were together when we needed to be,
Mhm.
and civil and that sort of thing. I knew, of course, the whole time he was with Rain,
But
living.
he hadn't admitted to you at that point.
No, no, he did.
Oh, he did.
He finally admitted the very last day when we moved out of the house and had to clean everything out and,
Right.
hand over the keys to the landlord and everything. It was so ironic. So we had Bindi with us, of course. She's always with us. And we're dirty and dusty, cleaning out the last of everything. You know, and at that time, I still had my location for my business over in Snohomish, which was like, a town away from where the house was.
Hmm.
And I said, it was dinner time. I said, what, let's just grab a bite to eat. We're both hungry. Let's just go someplace that it takes, will be okay with a dog. And, we'll just grab a bite to eat. And so we did. The name of the restaurant was the Trails End. I'm like, you could not have made this more
Or,
poignant if you
yeah,
tried. I mean, and the only reason we chose it is because they were dog friendly, and we
right,
could sit outside and we were
right,
dirty and that was just
right.
great. So anyway, so at that dinner is when he told me
Uh-huh,
that he had moved in with Lorraine.
uh-huh.
And so, of course, I had known all this time. Well, we're just friends. I'm staying on her couch, yada, yada. I'm like, I don't care. It's TMI.
Right.
At this
God, you
point,
guys are divorced. It's fine.
TMI,
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't need to know. And so that's sort of been our relationship. And then when Bindi died, things definitely shifted, right? Because we no longer had a reason to come together. And of course, he was there when she died, when the vet came, and we were fortunate that they were able to euthanize her right there at our house, at my house, with Wendy and Jenny and George. We were
Nice.
all around her and everything, and yeah, and so he was right there, and through the whole time, because we actually kept her at the house for a couple of days. I kept her cool, which is it's part of what my
So I'm going to
um
stop you for a minute here. I
yeah.
want you to just check in and see what you're feeling telling this story. What's going on for you right now? Do you have some resentment towards George, do you think, or some unfinished business that you're replaying here?
um I feel like there's probably a part of me that feels like I've got to justify why I have been a friend and been civil with my ex-husband. I don't know. I mean, it's weird,
So that's what I want you to look at there. What is, yeah, what's going on there? Why are you feeling the need? I mean, yeah, what's going on there? And
right?
also there was something about Linda here that somehow
Yeah.
she,
So sorry, I sort of got off on the track and with everything
well,
that's
because I think that's okay. There's something there too. And we're going to be going into regrets and resentments in the third and fourth module. So you get a chance to work on that. But this
Right,
is good because you start to look at those relationships and see what rises to the surface.
right, right. Well, what happened is that in this last year, especially the further we got away from Bindi's death and all of that, that he started finally, because he was not bringing her to any family functions and or
Oh, his
anything.
girlfriend,
His
his,
girlfriend, he
yeah.
wasn't bringing her to any of
And
this.
now he is.
And now in this last year, he is.
Okay.
And
How does that feel?
shitty.
Ah, so
I
let's,
hate it.
okay. So so just tap in, close your eyes and tap into like where you're feeling that right now. Is that in your heart? Is it in your shoulders? Where are you feeling that right now? Can you tell? In your mouth, jaws?
Um, Sort of equally my heart and my gut.
Okay, heart and gut. So listen to them a minute. The heart, what is the heart telling you right now about this? What hurts here? Is it that do you feel betrayed by him that he's now bringing his girlfriend around? What's happening here?
I feel that is he's he's claiming an ownership to a friendship that has been near and dear to me,
Okay.
and that, you know, she's just waltzing into. She didn't know
Ah.
Brian and Linda from the freaking hell of beans.
Oh, so that's where it is. It's not the kids, it's Brian and Linda, and she's waltzing into that relationship, and that was yours, and you feel like she's a usurper. She's
Yeah,
coming in and taking over, and where's that going to leave you?
right.
Yeah.
Well, it's less because I don't question my friendship with Linda and Brian. I don't.
Okay. Okay. Good.
That
It's
I
fine.
do not question.
Uh-huh.
What I feel betrayal about, which is a really hard thing for me to even
Acknowledge.
say that, acknowledge that
Yeah.
with my friend Linda.
Yeah.
I feel betrayed by Linda because I had to be the one to bring it up. They had already, from what I gather, as I can recall, best as I can recall, because I was quite frankly so in shock when she answered me, um, that they had whatever, whether it come up to Anacortes, because Anacortes, Seattle to Anacortes is like an hour and a half, and hour and a half basically. And so I don't know if they went up there for the weekend or, got together for dinners or whatever the heck they did. But it was, no one told me.
Mm.
Linda knew that about, everybody knew about her. I mean, this was no secret about
Mm-hmm.
Lorraine,
Mm-hmm.
but the fact that that had been happening behind my back.
Right, because he wasn't upfront with you in the beginning.
No,
Right.
they weren't upfront with me about the fact that, I mean, I basically had to say to Linda, I know you guys are friends with George, and I am surmising that Lorraine has been in the picture as well. And Linda said yes. And I said, okay. And how long has that been going on?
Mm.
And Linda said, they've probably gotten together, which usually when that means getting together, it would be George and Lorraine going up to Anacortes.
Mm-hmm.
So then, because Linda and Brian have got two house projects they're doing, up
Hmm.
in Anacortes. And so they don't, leave town to come down to see Seattle as often. And basically, you know, uh, I was quite frankly, I was sort of in shock when Linda said it. And um, and I just,
What do you want?
I want Linda to know how much it hurt me.
Ah, okay. Okay. That's
I
good.
want Linda to know how much
Hmm.
the fact that she's there, that's no secret. And I know she's going to be around. I mean, I saw her 3 weekends or 2 weekends ago at one of the kids' birthday parties.
Hmm.
And you know, and again there, with the kids, it's I there I do feel put aside. There I
Hmm.
feel like I'm being usurped or I'm being replaced, you
Right.
know,
Right.
because she has grandkids. She has two grandkids that are the same age as two of our grandkids.
Uh-huh.
And, I mean, George's grandkids, but obviously, George and I were Oma and Opa to the kids.
Hmm.
And, you know, and of course the kids, of course, still call me Opa, Oma. And, and, she's Miss Lorraine, to the
Hmm.
kids. Um, and especially the two older ones are much more dialed in and know all too well what's going on because their grandparents have both been on the other side, have been divorced and remarried or have you know special relationships or whatever. And I just feel like a third wheel. you
Right.
know I feel
Right.
like a third
Well,
wheel.
and you're facing that complication of the couple versus the single. And it's
Yeah,
it's very hard when you have been a couple and now you're not a couple.
yeah,
If you were in a couple, you would probably not feel so agitated or hurt by this.
right,
You know, it's
right.
like, now you're leftovers. You're like,
Exactly. I mean, I'm sort of chump change,
yeah, yeah,
and it just it hurts,
yeah.
it because part of the reason it hurts so deeply is I was the one that kept that relationship together with his kids. I mean, I was always the one to, I mean, which is very common for
So George
women.
had his own kids.
Yeah, George
Okay.
has three kids, and then um, they, of course, had children,
Right.
and
Did
so
you and George have any kids together?
no, no,
Okay. So
I've I've had no children. I've had no children.
yeah. Okay. So this is very complicated. And yes, they are his children. And yes, you may actually be moved out. Oh my gosh. I remember I had a friend who was the girlfriend of this man for a number of years, like 5 or 6 years, and then he died. But in the time that she was his girlfriend, she had status in his family. And all his kids adored her. As soon as he died, out the door. She was
I
like,
You talked about that in one of your examples. Yes, right, right, and that is how I feel.
yeah, yeah. It's like, okay, what now? And you actually sustained and maintained that relationship all that
I
time,
was the reason the relationship even
even
held.
existed. Yes, yes. Yeah,
And, I'm the one that planned all the holiday meals and the, events with the kids or came up with ideas for gifts and,
right, right.
and I mean,
Yeah,
he's like, okay, can I hold the bow on the wrapping? I mean,
right. Right.
like no engagement at
Right.
all.
Right.
And I mean, I won't say no engagement, but
Man engagement. It's man engagement.
man
Men are different
engagement,
than
right?
women, right?
It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah,
It's
totally different.
different.
It's different.
And it, and
So Char, what we're going to have to do with this is allow you to grieve the loss because there are going to be other people who are going to take place. If you look at I don't know if you ever got the copy of well, I don't know where I have it, but I have something where it says grief changes your address book.
oh
Loss.
yeah, yeah, that was in last module. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Well,
Hmm.
it changes your address book, and you just and the people you thought were going to be there might have not been there, and the people
Right,
you had no idea were going to be there will show up, and
right.
it is just and it's very difficult, especially when the woman is left alone and the man goes on to relationship.
Yep,
It's very difficult, especially if you have to face that relationship on a regular basis.
right, right.
And so it's tricky. So what you need to do is to write it all out and release it because it's going to hurt you inside. But once you really release and allow yourself to really express, and that's what we've been doing right now, is like really let's look at this. Okay, I feel hurt. I feel displaced. I feel abandoned. I feel set aside. I feel like thrown out of the car.
Yeah, yeah,
And it feels horrible. And so
yeah,
part of that is the whole loss. You have been abandoned. You have been thrown out of the car.
yeah,
You are on your own. And
right.
that hurts. It
Yeah,
hurts. It's hard. And
it is.
yeah, yeah,
And it just, you know, and it's such a weird dynamic because, you know, George has three kids. And
can't he share them?
what's that?
Can't he share them?
Yeah, you
Can't you
would
have
think,
one?
right? Well, I have to say in a way, I'm fortunate because the one he shares with me, she actually, without question, is more grateful for me than she is her father. Um,
Awesome. Awesome.
it's Laura. You'll see her name
Okay.
written all over my
Awesome.
home.
Okay.
Yeah, Laura
So,
is.
why don't we see if we can get a little bit of
Oh
tears
yeah.
going off on this. Go get the bindi blanket.
Oh my God,
You didn't bring it, did you?
I didn't bring bindies.
Oh my God. Okay. Do you have a picture of any of the children? See if that dog can channel bindi for you.
Yeah, you want to
See,
talk
look at that.
to me?
This dog knows, doesn't it?
Sweetie, it's okay. I know she hears me being upset.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay, Stella. It's
Yeah.
okay, sweetheart. Yes, it's okay. Oh, my love. Oh, my love.
Oh.
Yeah.
So Char, this has been really, really good because this is really hurting. And
Yeah.
this is the whole key to this particular module. And so you just went right to it and it's fabulous. And I know it's difficult. And hey, why not? Why wouldn't you be resistant to be writing about this? Because there was stuff that was inside that has not been released.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I'm realizing as we're talking that there's more there. Um, you know, my friendship with Linda and Brian is so um, dear and so tender to me,
Yes,
that the idea of Linda, you know, because if she realized the extent to how much it
that
hurt
hurt.
me, she I know she'd be mortified to
Right.
realize it,
Right.
and I know why she felt she had to do it for her husband. And
Right.
I love Brian, her husband.
And
And
I bet they told you that they to keep, they bet her, they told her to keep it a secret until George was ready to tell you.
who knows if he was even going to do that, you know? Um, but yeah, I mean, I guess I didn't it, this whole thing with her is much bigger just because of the complication with the kids and and my still wanting to
Focus.
be
Right,
in relationship with the kids
right.
and to the extent we don't have time to get into it, but suffice it to say that of George's three kids, one of them is really sort of out of the picture
Okay.
altogether. Ian, his oldest, his son, lives in this area, lives in Seattle, and
Uh,
is married and has three children.
mhm,
And Laura, his daughter, is in Colorado
mhm,
and is married and has two children.
mhm.
Laura and I have become exceptionally close. And Laura literally considers me to be her mother. I mean,
Awesome.
she's so bonded to
Bonded, bonded. Yeah,
me, and she is absolutely bonded to me, and I'm bonded to her.
that's
And,
great.
and so I'm, I honestly, we both have said the best thing that came out of that marriage was Laura and my relationship.
Wow.
It really
Yeah.
has. And I mean, um, and yet she's in Colorado.
Right.
and,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and and she would do anything for me to be able to be at the boys track meets and the
Right,
boys school
right,
stuff and yada yada.
right.
And
It's just
and
not possible.
no, and
Right,
meanwhile Ian and his wife are very different people.
right.
And the whole dynamic is very different. And it's like they want me there, but there's a lot of emotional immaturity
Yes.
and
And they don't know how to handle it. And it's
no,
complicated and it's uncomfortable. And so it's like, okay, how do we handle this? How do we make sure everybody feels included and who do they feel safer
yeah,
with? And so it is complicated. And then,
yeah,
how do their children respond? And it's tricky.
yeah,
But you have opened up the Pandora's box, and it is part of the whole process of divorce, is
yeah,
it changes your relationships with people.
right, right. It does.
And what you need to do for yourself, and you may have gotten that sense from that module, is to cultivate the relationships that support you,
Right.
not that are comfortable and that you feel loved in, that people appreciate you and reinforce you.
Hmm.
And that's going to help a lot
Yeah,
to reassure the body that you're still loved and that people still are connected to you and that you are not completely abandoned. You're not the little waif left out in the rainstorm.
right. Exactly.
And
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at your list and I'm like, oh my God, you got more friends than I do.
Well, I mean, it's interesting because until I started really thinking about it, I kept like, oh yeah, well, Peg, of course, I gotta put. I mean, Peg is, and it just, people would. It was an interesting exercise to go through and realize just how many
How
people
many people were,
are
yeah,
are in my orbit,
in
and
your orbit, your circle, your community? That was
yeah,
that whole exercise of that circular community was who can you reach out to these particular kinds of needs that you have as a human being? And
right,
you have gobs of them. You have
yeah,
gobs of them. So
yeah,
what you have to get used to is that you have lost some or that they are going to shift and change. And
hmm,
you want to allow your emotions, but you don't want to also dwell on it. You know what I
Right.
mean? Is you
Right.
don't, at a certain point, your healing process is going to require you to forgive and let go, to
Yeah.
let go. Because if
Yeah.
you don't, it'll keep on eating at you.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And it's really, it is true. I mean, I'm grateful to have it be out in the open, and because it just feels like every time, because this is now the second time I've been at an event where she's been
Where
there,
she's there.
and it's going to continue to happen, and I just have a pit in my stomach when I think about having to be there, and the dynamics in any of those environments with Stephanie's family, especially, um, which is Ian's wife, because, Ian does, I mean, George and me by extension from before, are Ian's, family that are here, if you will. And everybody else that is part of these gatherings and everything else is Stephanie's highly dysfunctional family that is very emotionally and emotionally stunted. And
This is Stephanie is the son's
Stephanie is
wife,
the
is it?
wife,
Yeah,
is
okay.
Ian's wife.
Right.
Yeah. And so when we're
So
going to
that's
these,
going to be complicated, whoever's there.
oh, I mean, it's awful. I mean, like I have to sort of seek out the people that I feel like I can actually have a reasonably adult conversation with
Right,
that is meaningful,
right,
because these people just, they don't even know how to relate,
right.
and
So
and it's
do you need to go there and subject yourself to that anymore?
that is the question.
Yeah. Do you really need, I mean, hey, you gotta get out of jail free ticket here. You want to use it?
Right. Exactly. And the reality is it's the connection to the kids that puts me into that quandary
The
of
connection with the grandchildren with
the
the
grandchildren.
grandchildren.
The
Yeah.
grandchildren. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And um uh and I mean they're getting to the age now, especially John. I mean John's 14, Betty's 12, and then Alden just turned 6. So he's the
Little
little
one.
one. And you know, John was the one that texted me in, I don't remember when, it was a while back. We were laughing about it because I mean it wasn't mom who said, "Oh, John's got a concert, and this is the time and the place and da 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 da." It
It
was
was
John
John.
that
Okay.
texted
Yeah.
me.
So I'm going to tell you a little story because I know we're out of
Oh
time, but
yeah.
I want to tell you a little story about what is really important to you. Have to ask what is really important to you. If your relationship with those grandchildren is important, then yes, you will suffer the meetings. I had a woman come to me one time. It was one of my free workshops that I held over at the library, and she showed up, and she was on oxygen and everything, and she hung around afterwards, and she said, "I have a really terrible problem. I have moved to the Bay Area to be close to my son and my grandson, and his wife is extremely controlling, and she's like a tiger mom, and she doesn't want me around." I said, "Why not?" She said, "Well, because I say things to her, it's like they were like, "Mm." And I
Yeah.
said, "Okay." And she says, "I think she's way too harsh on her son." I said, "Okay, so here's the thing. She's the mom. She gets to choose. And
Yep.
if you insist on fighting to be right, you're
Right.
going to lose your connection to your grandson.
uh,
What's more important?"
Mhm.
That's all I said to her. And she heard me. And she changed her behavior. She started being nice to the mom. She stopped conflicting with the mom. And she was able to have a relationship with her son, her
Wow.
grandson. And that
Hmm.
was all it took, was like that shift that said, okay, what's important here?
Yeah.
Is it important for me to be right? And this was an old Jewish grandmother. She
Old
wanted
mother.
to be right, right?
Ooh,
Okay.
that's a tough one.
Boy, she got it. I said, look, she's the mom.
Yep.
And if you attack her, she will not allow you to be around. And
Right.
that is the bottom line on that. And she has every right to exclude you.
Right.
She said,
Right.
"Oh my God." And I said, "You already moved here. You're here. What do you want to do?"
Yeah. What are
And
you going to do now? I mean, now that you're here, you know? Exactly. Oh gosh. Said a puppy, bring me a ball.
so I want you to think about those things. And in relation to this, no worries, no fears. We are going to be working on in module 3 and module 4 on the forgiveness and closure
Hmm.
part. And this may be the foremost and most important thing. It's not, it makes sense. It was only
Yeah.
5 years ago that this all came apart.
Yeah.
And our relationship with each other, with other people, and those bonds that are created, and then the fear of losing those bonds. It's huge. It's part of our whole survival mechanism, and it brings
Right.
a lot of stuff up.
It does. It
Yeah.
does. Yeah. Yeah.
So celebrate because you just opened the right box and you're working on it and you hit the nail on the nose. You just went right in there and that
Well,
very courageous.
thanks. Yeah. I mean,
So
it,
watch the brain because the brain is going to beat you up. Either it's going to beat you up or it's going to beat the other people up. This is the judge. And the judge finds things wrong with the situation or with other people or with yourself. So when you hear that, I'm going to give you a little bit of an exercise to do. You want to
okay.
you want to stop and say, "Ah, that's the judge," first.
Hmm.
And you can celebrate that you caught the judge. And if you actually jump up and down and say, "Yes, I got the judge," it will actually diminish the power of it.
Hmm. Hmm.
And at some point, I've got to make sure I have your address because I want to send you a little what are they made out of? Not vinyl, they're made out of silicon, little monster. And it's a little finger puppet monster. And when that judge talks to you, you want to talk with that little finger puppet and do it in a squeaky voice, because that's another way to diminish it. Because these judges, this judge, the saboteurs in our lives, um, they can take over and they can make our lives miserable. And we
Hmm.
don't need to be there. It's just
Hmm.
habit. It's just stuff that we learned in childhood.
Hmm.
And part of our journey here is not just to get you over the emotional grief. It's actually to make you even more strong and more happy in your life.
Right.
Okay, that's the ultimate goal. So we're going to
Yeah.
be working. And so these are really great. This is great material. This is a great doorway. And actually, it's like George and his girlfriend are your, what is it, black belt teachers for helping you.
Great.
Yeah, they'll help you. I know. And sometimes I'm like, well, I'm
Yeah.
not a black belt teacher, but they will help you to grow. They'll really help
Yeah.
you grow. So
Well, it's interesting because it's like the I sort of said, okay, I'm so, because obviously I asked for the divorce and I was so happy to have the divorce
hey,
that I
aren't you happy she has him?
big time, big time. So I just want her to have my friends, that.
Yes, well, but she will. She will to the extent that they're George's friends. And you're just going to have to make peace
Yeah.
with that because
Yeah.
that's inevitable. And if you take a moment to imagine what it's like to be in her shoes, you
Yeah.
don't want to be in her shoes.
Yeah. Yeah.
The replacement of Char? Ah, yeah, right. Hard footsteps to step into, right? Yeah.
Well, it's definitely it's interesting because of all the losses. This isn't the loss. The loss of George is like not
Right. It's not the important loss.
no,
It's no, it's the
which is like,
relationships.
why is that the thing that came up? I mean, that's the thing that just like, serious?
Because it's all about our bonding issues. That's what gets brought up is our relationships. They are the ground zero of grief. It's
Yeah,
always relationships
yeah,
that
yeah,
cause the most grief.
yeah. And that's exactly where ugh, that's where the kernel is right
That's
there.
where the kernel is. And don't worry, we can get through it. I'm
Yeah.
here for you.
Okay.
Okay, so I will send you. Do I have your address? I must have your address, right?
I, I don't know if you do. I mean, I can put it right here in the chat. Would that be helpful?
Let me just see what I have. Uh, well, Char Carpenter. I don't even know if there you are. Okay, I don't have you in my uh, so I'm going to have you just read it,
Oh,
say it out loud.
I just put it in the
Oh, you
chat.
did. Okay.
That's helpful, but I can
No,
read it
that's
out.
fine. No, no,
Can
that's
you
fine.
read it?
I'll
Okay.
just let me see. Let me check, make sure it's in my chat. Yeah, there it is.
You can
Yeah,
see it.
okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try and send you the puppet so that you can start. And I'm also going to I may have to wait because I also want to send you a stone, which is called a talisman, or we use it as a talisman. And so what I need you to think of is what word you want me to write on that. Or I can send you the stone and you can write your own word.
Hmm.
So think about it. You don't have to
Yeah.
decide it now, okay?
Okay.
But
Okay.
it's something that you want to remember for you, and you may not know until the end. So I might just send you the stone, and then you just write it on the stone at the end.
Yeah.
Okay?
Indeed.
Because
Okay.
I think that it would probably be good for me to send you the monster now, because it would help a lot. And yeah, just pause, catch the judge, and like celebrate and laugh at it, even like hold your little finger up or put a sock on your hand and do the little funny voice.
And the judge, I guess that's what I'm trying to figure out is what am I saying when I'm judging myself?
That's a good question.
Okay.
That's a good question. But you already know what you're saying about George's girlfriend, right? She's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
yeah, so you can do that because that's the judge too. That's
Yeah.
the judge too. And you don't really want that because when you hold that kind of energy towards somebody, it it actually hurts you. It's like
Right.
the old saying they said, it's like um, eating rat poison and hoping that a rat will die.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Yep.
it just boomerangs back on yourself. So,
Yep. Hmm.
okay. Well, good work today.
Okay.
Okay. Have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy your time with the
I
dog.
will. I will.
And
Yeah,
and
she's a love. So yeah, it's definitely, I'm so glad to have some puppy energy around me for sure.
and some time to yourself.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah.
beautiful. And I
Exactly.
want you to definitely think about creativity. Can you do anything creative this weekend?
Yeah. Well, I started choir, and
That's great.
so I brought my choir book, and
Oh,
and we actually have an app to listen to the music. So
awesome.
I may just rehearse my part.
Singing is awesome.
Yeah, that's what I will do this weekend is rehearse my parts and just,
Perfect. Perfect. That's
yeah,
going to be great.
yeah,
Create
yeah.
a lot of that.
That and I brought a puzzle. So
Oh,
yeah,
fun.
so I'll work on my puzzle and I'll sing my parts for my songs, and so that'll get some creative juices going.
Okay. All
Oh,
right, Char. You're
yeah.
doing great. You're doing
Oh,
really good.
thank you. Thank you. So should we
Oh,
set a,
yes, we should schedule the next one because you never know when you're going to be able to meet.
yeah, I always like to do it on a day where I'm having,
Homework. I mean, you're
yeah,
working from
yeah,
home.
working from home. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so it would be in the week of the 5th through the 11th. So what day of that week?
5th through the 11th.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, let's see. Oh gosh, I'm going to be down at the beach.
Nice.
I know. I'm so excited. You know what? Actually, um, I'm going to be at the beach. I'm working from home at
At
the
the beach. I love it.
and I do. I mean, I've rented an office, nearby that has Wi-Fi and all that. So, and this is
Awesome.
actually my trial run was today here at Dan's. Um, so I will be at the beach, and so I could meet either like at 4:30,
Mhm.
either on Thursday the 9th or Friday the 10th.
Okay. Which do you prefer?
Um, let's go with the 9th, all things
Awesome. Sure.
equal.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. Okay.
And
So
at 4:30 again, right?
at 4:30. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
And I'm actually I just typed it in and it brought up the old one, so I'm gonna go ahead and send this, yeah, and you'll get an invite for it.
Okay.
Okay.
Great. Great. Yeah. And I supposedly have, even though I'm right on the ocean, I supposedly have like, the best Wi-Fi. I think it's Starlink, unfortunately, but
Yeah, there's a little
who wants
value issue
Starlink?
there, but
Right. But it
but
does.
the technology is probably he didn't have anything to do with building it. Somebody else did.
Right, exactly. So anyway, but yeah, so I shouldn't have a connection issue at all. And I'll be
Right.
sure I have the right power cord this time.
Yeah.
So
All
anyway,
right.
but yeah,
Okay. So take care of yourself.
I will.
And, if you want to email me anything that comes up for you in between that time, please feel free. If something is like, because we've turned up a lot of stuff here.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and
Well,
that's
and
going to really be our focus for the next couple of weeks,
mhm,
because we're talking about resentment and regrets and letting go and closure.
letting go and the
And
forgiveness
the
and
forgiveness, yeah. So
yeah,
it's going to be more of it's going to be coming up, and it's
right,
okay. I mean,
right.
it's just the nature of the beast.
Yeah, it really is. I have to ask you before we go, so is all this artwork yours?
The cartoons, the illustrations,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. They're just priceless. I just love them. I mean, they're so I mean, the one about forgiveness, because I printed it off,
Uh-huh.
module 3. I
Uh-huh.
printed it off so I could work on it this weekend. And it's so darling, the little dinosaur, the little fire and the marshmallows
Oh,
and
yay, the marshmallows. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the forgiveness and the
Yeah, forgiveness.
past and burning up the past. I just love it.
I'm glad you
Oh,
like it. Yeah,
oh
yeah.
my gosh. Wow. Well, it's so appropriate. So I'm
Well, what I found, I mean, of course, I just intuited this doing the cartoons, but what I sense is that when people go through grief and loss, it brings up early childhood issues. And
oh
so
yeah.
I help people by putting the cartoons in to kind of make that inner child feel safe.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's just there's a tenderness
Tenderness,
and
yes,
a playfulness
yes,
and a softness to
yeah,
it
yeah.
that is just truly priceless. Yeah, I love them.
Well,
So,
thank you so much. Okay. All right.
okay.
So
All
see
right.
you
Thank
again in
you
a couple
again,
of weeks. Take
Michelle.
care.
All righty.
Bye
Bye-bye.
now.